A trip to the moon? No, but these Tupperware dealers, managers, and distributors will tell you that the Space Capades Jubilee is out of this world. Barbara Brittain, Edgar, Bergen, and other distinguished guests are escorted to the opening session by Tupperware executive staff members. Executive Vice President Gary McDonald introduces Father John Benton of St. John's Episcopal Church in Kissimmee.
We implore thee to pour down the divine dew of thy blessing upon this gathering of thy children who seek the increase of their knowledge and the refinement of their abilities.
Tupperware President Hamer Wilson introduces State Representative Mrs. Beth Johnson.
It's a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you today and to welcome you to this city of Orlando, which we fondly call the City Beautiful, to these counties of Osceola and Orange, and to the state of Florida. We are very proud that the Tupperware Sales Organization chose this as their home, and we're delighted to have them bring you here each year to this Jubilee.
Special guest on our first day is movie and TV star lovely Barbara Brittain.
Supposing you're giving one of your parties, but a two-way mirror has been dropped between you and your guests. Now, they can still see and hear you, but you cannot see nor hear them. Well now, under these conditions, can you still sell Tupperware? Of course you can. You lose some advantages, but you can still sell your product.
Distributors are awarded portable lecterns for exceeding their 4-month goal in a 3-month period. A special portable powered lectern and public address system for highest percentage increase over their sales goal is awarded to Mary Rita and Bob Wish High Sales. Another special lectern is awarded to Anna and Harvey Hollenbush of Hollenbush Sales for highest in volume over their sales goal. The Dealer Merit Award, highest honor for a Tupperware dealer, goes to Helen Mays, Darling Sales, winner in the eastern section of the country. Manager Merit Award winner is Georgia Smith Trio Sales. Her husband L.D. Smith and distributors Doris and George Crane take part in the ceremony. Now, distributors who have brought in the most dealers during the Space Capades recruiting period receive plaques honoring them for their achievements. The plaque names its winner as a Tupperware Space Pilot. Top Space Capaders are these dealers whose sales went into orbit during the pre-Jubilee contest. Satellite trophies go to distributors who have reached their special Space Capade sales goals. Guest speaker Mary Ann March, Test Kitchen Director of Echo Products.
There's more choice than ever on how to spend money. We all know that. There are more new materials, more new products, more new services on the market every day, competing for dollars.
Well, look who's here in outer space. Edgar, Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy.
All right. I don't know why it is every time we make an appearance, you manage to say something or do something to embarrass me.
Yeah, I'm reliable.
Yes, you are. Why is that? If you have your choice between right and wrong, you will always do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
Well, it's more fun.
More fun, I see. Every time you do the wrong thing, the devil laughs.
Must you drag my friends into this argument?
All right, all right.
Edgar also brought his friend Mortimer Snurd.
How are things going on the farm?
Well, there's always something going on. The stork visited a barn the other day.
Oh, did your cow calf?
No, my pig. Oh, I see.
We enjoy a visit from Effie Clinker, too.
Are you thinking of marrying anyone?
Well, just about anyone, yes.
Yeah.
What a day this has been, and there's more to come. Distributor enthusiasm brings on the Tupperware National Anthem. Mink Stole recruiting contest winners are announced. Virginia Hawthorne and Bill Red receive the mink for Virginia Bell sales. Joe and Bill Carter Stardust sales. Helen and Harry Parker Parker sales. Pat Brown Party Time sales. Kitty and Charlie Pierce Pierce distributors. Gene and Jack Conlog multiple sales. Tom Damagella distributors. Lois and Frank Burns Bobby Burns Incorporated. Betty and Bill Blanar Bill Mark sales. Griggs Durham distributors. Gene Kelly creative sales. Phyllis and Jack Hale sales. Kay and Walter Pease Wall K sales. Evelyn and Arnold Hannon Arlen sales. Ethel Garin Colony sales. Mary and Dale Rayner Dalmar sales. Margaret and Alan Gale Alamar Plastics. Evelyn and Vernon Olson Gala sales. Louise and Charles Goss Goss distributors. Irene and Mert Ellis Ellis sales. Jean and Buddy Hampton J&H Enterprises. Toby and Saul Levitt Tobel sales. Betty and Phil Hammett Lynbrook sales on the left, and Sally and Tom Fitzgerald Norco sales on the right. Naomi and Jack Lyons Ceylon sales. Barbara and Russ Goslin Galaxy Enterprises. Sylvia Boyd Humming Boyd sales. Vi Sivak VIP sales. Bonnie Wagner Kimrock sales. Grace Cordray distributors. Thora Ostertag FTO sales has Hamer put the stole on her daughter. Lynna and Bill Bieber sales. Mary Alice Brenner Bright Star sales. Jerry and Betty Shope of Shope distributors. CB Stockwell Party sales. Mildred and Julius Thompson Mildred Thompson Incorporated. Verla Holtzlander Holly Jane sales and Selma Johnson Walton Sal sales. Marguerite Roundtree Lucy Ann sales. Mildred and Ben Voss Trotter sales. Betty and Ed Blunt at Bed sales. Gladys and Elwin Moore and More sales. Annabelle and Jim Hughes Pyramid Party sales. The second day of Jubilee. Everyone gathers in the front parking area to receive instructions on the unprecedented and mysterious project involving Tupperware canisters filled with over 42 colors of paint. Over 40 automobiles could be parked on this tremendous canvas. Each dealer and manager is assigned a number corresponding to a paint canister and a specific spot on this giant canvas. In volleys, they carefully execute the painting. No one knows exactly what it will be. The guesses are many, some very accurate, some very close, others far from the actual identity. Enthusiastically, the Tupperware folks apply themselves to the job. With determination, they paint their designated areas and wonder what their finished work will be. Directing the painting is sales promotion manager Pat Tahaney. And now, as the finishing touches are put on the canvas, the guesses become more accurate. We see now that it's a portrait of the President of the United States of America, Dwight D. Eisenhower. The dealers and managers assemble as a gigantic crane lifts the canvas over 6 stories high. This inspiring sight fills each of us with a sense of achievement. At the Western Jubilee, an unprecedented moment in history. The largest portraits in the world of the President of the United States of America and the First Lady. Afternoon classes begin with James Arch, Dale Carnegie course instructor.
Now, praise, what we're talking about, the eminent psychologist, Professor William James, he said the deepest principle in human nature is a craving to be appreciated.
H.T. Schulenberger, nationally known sales counselor and humorist.
You have taken time out of an important work week. You've spent your own money to come down here to Orlando and the Kissimmee area to share these little thoughts with other people. And I want to talk to you today about picking out a star to steer by. You'll never go any place in life unless you decide where it is that you'd like to go.
Glenn Bump, Assistant Advertising Manager.
It's a matter of coverage. The more territory covered by Tupperware dealers, the more we can afford to spend on advertising because we can spend our advertising dollars more efficiently.
Hamer Wilson addresses the primary seminar classes.
And what is a manager's job, and how simple is it? It's simply doing what you do as a dealer and saying to someone else, come with me and I'll show you the way. It's that simple. You're dealing more with people, and you need to have a better understanding of people, and the only way that you can get that is by associating with as many people as possible.
Evening of the second day brings the most gala occasion of Jubilee, Fun Night. It starts with a fabulous dance act by Gene and Jack Conlog's Multiple Sales Company of Miami. Everyone moves into the fun area. Chief Space Commando Gary McDonald gives instructions. Gifts are awarded in 7 categories according to the dealer's or manager's sales during the pre-Jubilee contest. First come those whose destination is Mercury. From a rocket blasted back to Earth, Jubileers find rich rewards. Venus travelers fire individual rockets using not jet power, but elbow grease. Their space mates retrieve the nose cones and meet their partners to claim their gifts at outer space stations. On Mars, the travelers who reach this amazing planet are met with king-size spaceograms. They thrust them into huge machines, and out come their gifts. The tiny creatures of Jupiter readily bring their gifts from their mountain cave when the space Capades offer what they like most: lights for this dark planet. The rings of Saturn bring us riches when we pull them from the side of this strange world. On Neptune, the sky is filled with parachutes. On each one is a key which will unlock a rocket. Ah, but which rocket? That's the fun of life on Neptune. It's worth the trouble, though. Look at the exciting gifts. Now, the top 25. Pluto. Barbara Morgan, Arlen Sales. Eleanor Julie, Topper Sales. Bill Murray, More and More Sales. Dorothy Smith, More Sales. Sonia Cole, Virginia Bell Sales. Margaret Fry, Party Time Sales. Winnie Luff, Harold Plastics. Pat Stergel, Virginia Bell Sales. Doris Bennett, Holly Jane Sales. Betty Jo Spielman, Park Hill Sales. Joanne Upston, Fran Ed Sales. Betty Brown, Seal and Save Sales. Ella Holloway, Convenience Sales. Laureen Wayne, Havana Sales. Ray Jean Streetman, Party Time Sales. Dorothy Blaha, Partywise Enterprises. Betty Dodson, Hollenbush Parties. Georgina Tune, Cornhusker Sales. Margaret McGrady, The Butler Company. Esther Israel Party Time Sales. Dorothy Morey K-Mac Sales. Peggy Meldrum Alamar Plastics. Shirley Murray Party Time Sales. Marion Altmeyer Goss Distributors. Leona Gerke Topper Sales. The top 25 blasts off again. The number is Dorothy Smith's. Her extra gift is a Mercury Comet. Wow! This Jubilee is really going into orbit. She is congratulated by her distributors, Cleo and George Mormon, and interviewed by Gary and Hamer. And can't think of much to say. But what's this? Is there still something else? It can't be, but it is. Another comet. Who's this one for? Why, of course, her husband. Members of her unit run up to congratulate her, and so ends an exciting fun night. Next morning, it's back to classes. Pat Dehaney, Tupperware Sales Promotion Manager, addresses the primary seminar. Tupperware's bashful sales counselor, Bill Redmond.
That's all right, I guess, but I think I'd rather be a unit manager. And without having all these instructions, I think in the next few minutes that maybe I could make your job a little simpler if you'll just remember about 4 basic rules in getting dealers started.
Dick Whitmer, Sales Promotion, joins Bill in song.
It might have been in County Down, or old New York, or Gay Paris, or even London town. Great Scott, what a note. No more will I go all around the world, for I have found my world in you.
The dinner that evening is a formal banquet served in the giant dining tent. The major address by Dr. Kenneth McFarland, sales consultant for General Motors and the American Trucking Association.
Told me the other day about the preacher, got so absent-minded he couldn't remember any proper names at all. If he was going to use any proper names, he'd pin them inside his coat in the order that he was going to use them. He got up one Sunday morning to preach. He said, "And the Lord created man, and his name was Adam. And then the Lord created woman, and her name was Eve. And Adam and Eve had a son, and his name was Robert Hall."
We are honored by a visit from Mrs. America, Mrs. Rosemary Murphy of Kentland, Indiana.
I thought it was wonderful that I was introduced, and my husband will love him for it, introducing me as Mrs. George Murphy. He said he almost at various times feels like Prince Philip, 2 steps behind.
A dramatic highlight of the evening is the presentation of the highest distributor award in Tupperware, the Odd Astra Cup to Joe and Bill Carter, Stardust Sales, Medford, New Jersey. Vanguard Top 10 are called to the stage. Carrie Miller, Ellis Sales, top Vanguard manager at the Eastern Jubilee, will be provided with a 1961 Ford Fairlane 500 for 2 years. Gary announces that not only will Carrie receive the use of a car, but all of the top 10 will also be provided with cars. But what is Gary saying? Every Vanguard manager in the country will be provided with a car on the same basis. But listen to what happens next. Every manager in the Tupperware world will be provided with a 1961 Ford Fairlane. Can it be possible? Is it true? Yes, girls, it is true. If you didn't believe when you came to Jubilee that you were going into orbit in outer space, you can believe it now. Models of the Ford Fairlane are presented to all managers to remind them of the actual cars they will be driving in just a few weeks. They do things fast here in outer space. It's the Kissimmee Gazette Jubilee Extra presented as we arrive on the last day. And look, girls, a Ford Fairlane 500. Ours will be a 1961 model. Just be patient. Back to classes, and we hear Tupperware sales counselor Jack McCall.
And becoming a leader, realize this, and remember this always. You need not ever exploit any individual. Now, we as individuals may need to somewhat exploit ourselves, our own ability, but we do not need and desire to exploit another person.
Tony Ponticelli, manager of special events, reminds us that Tupperware parties are special events too. At luncheon, the Vanguard managers are honored with a special cake and special service at their own table. On stage, there are skits and songs throughout each mealtime. After the noon meal, we hear sales counselor Fred Strahl.
I believe that a manager earns the right to manage other people only after they have learned to manage themselves. This means managing their business, managing their parties as dealers, managing the way they bring new people into the business and train them and teach them and see that they succeed.
Sam Yeiter, Tupperware sales counselor, speaks in the Garden Pavilion.
I feel this way, that your success depends upon this ability or capability to date parties, doggone it.
Jack Mann, popular sales counselor, speaks.
Thomas Wilson once said that friendship can only be purchased by friendship. A man may have influence over others, but he can never have their heart except by giving his own.
Every Tupperware Jubilee ends with a formal graduation. The commencement address is delivered by President Hamer Wilson.
So in the months and years to come, even though we may have to wear our 7-league boots to greet you, and even though our steps increase in number and length, we must always look to our side and remember the creed that unites us. In Tupperware, you never walk alone. As you return from our journey together through the space capades, let the stars light the way and the sun shine brightly on your path. May God go ahead of you to make safe your journey home. Good night, and bless you.
As we leave, we see a spaceship circling the Earth, all on Tupper Lake. And a brilliant fireworks display sends us on our way. While the Tupperware staff and their wives wave us farewell and a safe voyage home.